कांचन गौरांगी श्री राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधरा श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 रामा राम राम हरे हरे. Hare Krishna, everybody. So, what's special about tomorrow? Anyone knows?
Advaita Acharya's appearance day, Mataji.
Very cool, very nice. So, what do we do? What is our part tomorrow? What should we do?
Fasting till noon, Mataji.
Fasting till noon. Very nice. And now, one more question. Why should we fast?
Respect.
Why fasting till noon?
Part of the audience. Respect that.
Anyone? Any guesses?
So that we can concentrate on his
Devotional service.
devotional
Teachers.
Okay, then every day.
Mercy of Advaita.
To get mercy. See, on appearance and disappearance days, the acharyas will be extra merciful. Other days also they are merciful, but on these appearance and disappearance days, the respective acharyas will be extra merciful. And to get that extra mercy, and that extra mercy is always special, right? So you never know. You can even go back home, back to Godhead, if they are merciful. That merciful they are on their appearance and disappearance days. That's why if you fast and pray to them, rather than eating with full stomach and sitting and praying, if you fast and pray to them, you will be in a higher position to get that mercy, that special mercy. That's the reason we have to fast on the appearance and disappearance days of acharyas. Okay, Hare Krishna. Yeah, let's begin. So this is a bhajan. You can all sing this tomorrow, right, to glorify Advaita Acharya. So what all he did, why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to this world, everything is given in this bhajan. It's a very beautiful bhajan. Let's begin. Jaya Jaya Advaita Acharya Dayamaya Jaya Jaya Advaita Acharya Dayamaya Jare Hunkare Gaur Avatara Hoy Jare Hunkare Gaur Avatara Hoy Jaya Jaya Advaita Acharya Dayamaya Premadata Sitanata Karuna Sagara Jare Prema Rashi Aila Gauranga Sundara Premadata Sitanatha Karuna Sagara Jara Prema Rase Aila Gauranga Sundara Jaya Jaya Advaita Acharya Dayamaya Jahare Karuna Kare Kripa Dite Chai Prema Vishase Jana Chaitanya Gunagai Jahare Karuna Kare Jaya Jaya Advaita Acharya Dayamaya Tahara Charane Jebe Laila Sharana Se Jana Paila Gaura Prema Mahadana Tahara Charana Jebe Laila Sharana Se Jana Paila Gaura Prema Mahadana Jaya Jaya Advaita Acharya Dayamaya Emana Dayaranidhi Kene na Bajilu Lochana Bale Nija Mate Vajara Parilu Emana Dayaranidhi Kene na Bajilu Lochana Bale Nija Mate Vajara Parilu Jaya Jaya Advaita Acharya Dayamaya Jaya Jaya Advaita Acharya Dayamaya Jare Kare Gor Avatara Hoy Jare Kare Gor Avatara Hoy Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So translation. Hail all hail to the preceptor Advaita. So why is he called preceptor? Why is he called Acharya? Anyone? What is the meaning of the word Acharya?
He's the Guru Mataji.
Is a guru. Okay. What is the meaning of guru?
One who is learnt of all the Vedic scriptures and
Okay.
who do bhakti.
So learning is enough?
No, practicing as well.
Practicing. Acharya. Apani Achari Korilek Bhakti Prachar. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Apani Achari. First you have to do it. Acharya. Acharya is someone who practices. A person who practices is called Acharya. And only if you are practicing, you can teach something to others. Right? If you are not doing it, you can't preach to others. And even if you preach, it won't be effective. Okay? It will not have any change in their heart. They will not come back to you again to ask about Krishna. Okay? So that is the meaning of the word Advaita, Acharya. And Advaita, who is actually Advaita Acharya? Anyone? What is his Swarupa?
Mataji, he had requested, he had prayed for Lord to come to material world so that lot of sins were being done.
Yeah, that's what he did. But who is he?
He's Lord
Shiva
Shiva and
Swarupa.
Lord Vishnu.
Haribol. He's Lord Shiva and Lord Vishnu 50-50 combined together. That incarnation is called Advaita. Right? So he actually came down in the form of a devotee. He is Lord Vishnu, but he came in the mood of Lord Shiva. Shiva is a devotee, right? Vaishnavanam Yathashambha. In fact, the best of the Vaishnavas, Shiva is the best of the Vaishnavas. So he came in the mood of a devotee, Lord Shiva, and he is Lord Vishnu himself. So he came down in the form of an Acharya. So when I mean, he used to conduct Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita classes in his house, right? And he used to practice Krishna Bhakti himself, and he used to teach it to others as well, right? Even we've seen Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's elder brother, right, Vishwaroop, he also used to go to his house and learn Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita and everything. And that's how he became a devotee and he took sannyas also. Right? So, Advaita Acharya is a great preceptor. He used to practice and he used to preach only what he used to practice. Nowadays we see all gurus, they speak Vedantas but they don't practice anything. No, but Advaita Acharya was not like that. And he is full of mercy, no, Dayamai, who peeling roar invoked the avatar of Gaura. Like Prabhu said, he is the one who actually cried to Krishna and requested him to come down to earth, for so that all he was seeing the society becoming godless, right? Nobody was following any principle. They were all just in their own verse doing whatever they want, right? So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Advaita Acharya couldn't see it, right? His heart was paining to see all people misled in Kali Yuga. So what he used to do, how he called Gauranga? Anyone, what he used to do?
Mataji, I think he used to go to Ganga river and then pray for request for it.
Yeah, but how?
Because of his golden color.
Okay, so basically he lives in Shantipur. That's the place he lives, and it's on the banks of the Ganges. So he used to take, you can see in the picture, it's clearly explained. He used to take Saligram, okay, Krishna used to worship in the form of Saligram, not, photo or Vigraha or anything, just Saligram. And he used to place it on a very nice altar. You can see over here, such nice pita and everything. And he used to take little bit of Ganga Jal and little bit of, 2-3 manjaris, Tulsi manjaris. That's it, nothing else. He used to offer Tulsi leaves to the Saligram and Ganga Jal. He used to dip Tulsi leaves in Ganga Jal. He used to offer it to the Lord, and he used to offer separately Ganga Jal also. Only with these two things he pleased Krishna, and Krishna was ready to give himself. In Chaitanya Charitamritham, it is said that when when someone offers Krishna some Ganga Jal and Tulsi leaf, okay, when someone offers, he will go search, it seems, in his Goloka, he will search if he has something more valuable to give to that devotee, because Krishna just loves Ganga Jal and Tulsi leaf, right? If you don't have anything, just offer Tulsi leaf, nothing else. He just loves it, and whoever offers it, he will fall in love with that person. So whoever, if you offer, he will go search in his Goloka whether he has anything valuable to give to that person who is offering as a return gift. Then he will search and search and search. It seems he will not find anything. It seems. Right? It's beautifully given in Chaitanya Charitamritham. And because Krishna doesn't give anything, doesn't find anything more valuable than Tulsi leaf and Ganga Jal, he will decide to give himself. As in, he will decide to become a servant of the person who offers Tulsi leaf and Ganga Jal to him, because he doesn't have anything more valuable to give to that person. He will say, okay, because I don't have anything valuable, and I have to give something in return. I can't just take from my devotee. I will rather go myself to him as a servant, and the devotee purchases Krishna. And Advaita Acharya did exactly the same thing. Advaita Acharya purchased Krishna just with Tulsi leaf and some drops of Ganga Jal. And then what happened? Whatever you ask Krishna, he will do. So, Advaita Acharya, after understanding that Krishna is pleased with Tulsi leaf and Ganga Jal, he cried and he called, you come, please come. I know in Dwapar Yuga you just came and went back, but you have to come to, bring people back into the path of Bhakti, because everybody has forgotten God, everybody are doing just what they want, and so you have to come back. Right? And then Gaura Sundara, Krishna came in the form of Gaura Sundara, and just to please Advaita Acharya. Can you imagine? Right? And then giver of prema, right? Advaita Acharya is one of the all the devotees who preached I mean, who gave Krishna Prema. Nityananda Prabhu gave, Haridas Thakur gave, right? So, like that, even Advaita Acharya was also empowered by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to distribute Krishna Prema to everybody. Patra dekhe na dekha. No seeing the qualification, whether they are as degraded as Jagai Madai or as elevated as a nice, pious person. They never used to say. Everybody they used to freely distribute Krishna Prema, right? So he is also one of those empowered incarnations, empowered devotees who gave Krishna Prem. And he is Sita Pate, right? Daya karo Sita Pate Advaita Gosai Tava kripa bale pai Chaitanya Nitai. We sing this every day in Darshanarti, right? So he is Sita Pate. His wife's name is Sita, and without Advaita Acharya's mercy, we cannot get Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy and Nityananda Prabhu's mercy. Can you imagine, right? Tava Krupa Bale Pai Chaitanya Nitai. Without, you can't skip Advaita Acharya and directly pray to Nityananda Prabhu. Nityananda Prabhu will not listen. We have to go through Panchatatvas. I mean, that's why we chant first the Panchatattva mantra and then only Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Right? And his Prema Rasa bought Gaura Sundara. Right? So Krishna came just because he requested. One of the reasons. Right? Whoever receives his mercy, one who bestows his kind glance, that blessed one becomes immersed in prema and sings the divine excellences of Gaura. So he just gives Krishna prema, and when people receive Krishna prema from Advaita Acharya, it's given over here what they do, no? They become ecstatic and they start singing the glories of Gauranga. Okay, and because Advaita Acharya is such a dearest devotee, associate for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he did not even give Krishna Prem to his very own mother. No, anyone knows that pastime? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu never gave Krishna Prem to his very own mother, Sachi Mata. Why?
She committed an offense to Advaita Acharya.
What did she do?
She was blaming him for making her eldest son take up sannyas.
Yeah, so I told you in the beginning of the class, no? So elder brother of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, his name is Vishwarup. So he used to go every day to Advaita Acharya's house because he used to conduct classes, no? To learn Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, he used to go every day. And learning, he got so deep into bhakti that he became a very serious devotee. And when Sachimata asked him for marriage, he told, no, I'm not interested. I want to remain a brahmachari. And he went and took sannyas. He just went, he left home and nobody knew where he was, and he just went and he took sannyas. Right? So that was deeply there in Sachimata's heart. You know, that my son did not get married, did not marry because of Advaita Acharya and all that, right? But she never saw that Advaita Acharya sow the seed of bhakti so strongly in her son's heart, and he actually made a big favor, did a favor to her and her son actually. But she misunderstood, no? So that's why she had this offense. She did not speak or anything, insult him or anything. She just had a thought in her mind. No, because of Advaita Acharya, my son took sannyas. And she said that also verbally to her husband. That's it. That became an offense. Can you imagine? And she never got Krishna Prem. Right? Because of Vaishnava Aparadh. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, you have to go take dust from the lotus feet of Advaita Acharya, and only if he forgives, you will get Krishna Prem, not otherwise. That's the power of a Vaishnava actually, right? We should never offend, because whatever Vaishnava does, it is to please the Lord and it is for our own good. No, if we get Krishna Prem, our life will become successful, not his life. They are not doing anything and they are not gaining anything. We are gaining, right? So Vaishnava's job, Vaishnava Kriya Midra, whatever they see, whatever they do, whatever they do, we shouldn't comment. We shouldn't see the external circumstances and say, oh, why is this Vaishnava behaving like this? I never expected this from this person. Don't say that, because you never know what is happening, right? We shouldn't ever comment. Whoever sought refuge at his feet, that same acquired the greatest wealth of Gaura Prema. Lochana says, why did I not adore such a repository of bounding grace? But by that I have bought a thunderbolt upon my own head. So that's why it's very important to always praise Panchatatvas. Have Panchatatvas in your house, right? The photograph in your altar. Very, very important. Right? All the Panchatattvas is important. Even some devotees have Gaurnitai deities at home, but they don't have Panchatattva. Right? What is the use? Tava Krupa Bale by Chaitanya Nitya. Without Advaitacharya's mercy, we will not get Gaurnitai's mercy. Right? So Srivas Acharya, Gadadhar Pandit, Advaitacharya, Gaurnitai, all five should be there. The Panchatattva photo is very, very important. That too in Kali Yuga, we have to. There is no other go. Right? Okay. Let's come back. So tomorrow is such an auspicious day, the day where Advaita Acharya came to this world, appearance day. He'll be extra merciful. So all of you please take the fast. It's not compulsory you have to do nirjal or anything. Ekadashi prasadam is allowed, right? Sabudana and potato and everything. Even fruits and just milk also you can take. It's just till 12 o'clock. It's like skipping breakfast. That's it. Many times when we are in hurry, we skip breakfast, right? So tomorrow also it's just skipping breakfast. And yeah, Hare Krishna, thank you. Let's begin. Let's begin with today's class. Today we'll be finishing Shukadev Goswami's prayers, okay? Yadangri abhidhyana samadhidhautaya diyanupashyanti hi tattvamatmana vadanti chitat kavayo yatharucham same mukunda bhagavan prasidatam. It is the personality of Godhead Sri Krishna who gives liberation. By thinking of his lotus feet at every second, following in the footsteps of authorities, the devotee in trance can see the absolute truth. The learned mental speculators, however, think of him according to their whims. May the Lord be pleased with me. Yeah, Purport, who wants to read?
May I read, Mataji?
Yes, Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Twenty-one. It's not coming full.
Screen is not visible?
Not from the beginning. Start.
Purport. Yeah, Purport is there?
Yeah,
Yes.
now it is. Now it is there. The mystic yogis, purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The mystic yogis, after a strenuous effort to control the senses, may be situated in a trance of yoga, just to have a vision of the super soul within everyone. But the pure devotee, simply by remembering the Lord's lotus feet at every second, at once becomes established in real trance, because by such realization, his mind and intelligence are completely cleansed of the diseases of material enjoyment. The pure devotee thinks himself fallen into the ocean of birth and death, and incessantly prays to the Lord to lift him up. He only aspires to become a speck of transcendental dust at the lotus feet of the Lord. The pure devotee, by the grace of the Lord, absolutely loses all attraction for material enjoyment. And to keep free from contamination, he always thinks of the lotus feet of the Lord. King Kulashekara, a great devotee of the Lord, prayed, Krishna Tvaidiya Pada Pankaja Panjarantam Advaya Me Vishnu Vishatu Manasa Raja Hamsa Prana Prayana Samaya Kapa Vata Pita Kanta Avarodhana Vidau Smaranam Kutostre. My Lord Krishna, I pray that the swan of my mind may immediately sink down to the stems of the lotus feet of your Lordship and be locked in their network. Otherwise, at the time of my final breath, when my throat is choked up with cough, how will it be possible to think of you? There is an intimate relationship between the swan and the lotus stem. So the comparison is very appropriate. Without becoming a swan or Paramahansa, one cannot enter into the network of the lotus feet of the Lord. As stated in the Brahma Samhita, the mental speculators, even by dint of learned scholarship, cannot even dream of the absolute truth by speculating over it for eternity. The Lord reserves the right of not being exposed to such mental speculators, and because they cannot enter into the network stem of the lotus feet of the Lord, all mental speculators differ in conclusions. And at the end, they make a useless compromise by saying as many conclusions, as many ways, according to one's own inclination. Ratha Rucham. But the Lord is not like a shopkeeper trying to please all sorts of customers in the mental speculator exchange. The Lord is what He is, the absolute personality of absolute personality of Godhead, and He demands absolute surrender unto Him only. The pure devotee, however, by following the ways of previous acharyas or authorities, can see the Supreme Lord through the transparent medium of a bona fide spiritual master, Anupashyanti. The pure devotee never tries to see the Lord by mental speculation, but by following in the footsteps of the acharyas. Mahajano yena gata sa pantaha. Therefore, there is no difference of conclusions among the Vaishnava acharyas regarding the Lord and the devotees. Lord Chaitanya asserts that the living entity Jiva is eternally the servitor of the Lord, and that he is simultaneously one with and different from the Lord. This tattva of Lord Chaitanya is shared by all the four sampradayas of the Vaishnava school, all accepting eternal servitude to the Lord even after salvation, and there is no authorized Vaishnava acharya who may think of the Lord and himself as one. The humbleness of the pure devotee who is 100% engaged in his service puts the devotee of the Lord in a trance by which to realize everything. Because to the sincere devotee of the Lord reveals himself as stated in the Bhagavad Gita 10.10. The Lord, being the Lord of intelligence in everyone, even in the non-devotees, favors his devotee with proper intelligence so that automatically the pure devotee is enlightened with the factual truth about the Lord and his different energies. The Lord is revealed not only by not by one's speculative power or by one's verbal jugglery over the absolute truth. Rather, he reveals himself to the devotee when he is fully satisfied by the devotee's service attitude. Sukadev Goswami is not a mental speculator or compromiser of the theory of the many ways as many conclusions. Rather, he prays to the Lord only, invoking his transcendental pleasure. That is the way of knowing the Lord. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. So very beautifully said, no, over here. What does he say? He says, Shukdev Goswami says, only Krishna can give liberation. All of you agree? Anyone can give liberation other than Krishna?
The spiritual master, Mataji.
Spiritual master is again through Krishna only. But any other demigod can give liberation?
No, Mataji.
Right? Mukti pradatam sarvesham Vishnur eva na samshayah. Only Vishnu can give. Only Krishna can give. Lord Shiva says, someone goes and asks Shiva that I have been serving you from so many janmas, so many lifetimes and so many days, so many years. Right? I'm a Shiva devotee. So my Shiva will give me liberation. Shiva will give me mukti. And at the end of his life, he got Shiva. Shiva appeared in front of the devotee and said, you've been serving me so nicely. I'm so pleased. Ask whatever you want, I'll give. Then he asked for mukti. Then Shiva says, Mukti, I can't give you Mukti. Mukti only Vishnu can give, only Krishna can give. That's why his name is Mukunda. Right? Mukti, because he's the giver of Mukti or liberation, his name is Mukunda, right? So I can't give. I can do one thing. In the next life, I can put you in a devotee's house. You can take birth as a pure devotee, and then you can become a devotee of Krishna. And then you will go back home, back to Godhead in that life itself, next life. But I cannot give you bhakti, mukti. right? So then the devotee was like, what? I thought you will give me mukti. You cannot. I served you so much. I served you so nicely. Right? So we don't know. We need to read scriptures. That's why. Right? Otherwise, we will not know. Whatever people say, 100 people will say 100 things. Like Prabhupada told now over here, the conclusion. Yatharucham. According to their own mental speculations, whatever conclusions they come to, and people will just start blindly following as many conclusions as many ways, right? Because nobody knows the actual truth, right? And by mental speculations, there are three kinds of transcendentalists. No, what are the three kinds? Anyone? What are the three kinds of transcendentalists? Yeah, Bhakti Vaibhav students are here. They can answer.
Mataji, Paramahamsas?
The three kinds of transcendentalists. So we have three kinds, okay? Jnanis, yogis, and bhaktas. Okay, all the three are transcendentalists. But the problem with jnanis and yogis are jnanis try to realize the Lord through mental speculation. And again, it will come down to the same fact we just discussed. Whatever they think, mental speculation, they will think that is only truth. And each one will think in different ways, and they will come down with their own kind of conclusions. Right? So conclusion is only one. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and Bhagavan realization is the only kind of realization, complete realization. Right? But if anything other than that, if you are realizing, then it is actually not realization. Right? It's just your own mundane conclusion. Right? So that's the problem with jnanis. They don't believe in shastras or acharyas, or they just think, speculate something, and they try to find out the truth in that way. And it'll take janmas and janmas and janmas, right? Because if you have to go by permutation combination method, you can imagine logically also it's not possible. So all the combinations you have to try out and then understand which is the actual feasible combination, right? That will take a lot of time. And the other problem with the other transcendentalist is yogis. No, the problem with them is they end only with Paramatma realization. Okay, there are three stages. No, Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. So they go do Ashtanga yoga with pranayama process and everything. Right? Prabhupada says somewhere over here with pranayama and that and this they do Ashtanga yoga, and they only see the Paramatma in their heart. They don't see Krishna's Shamasundara form. They only end up seeing Shankuchakra Gada Padma. That is the Vishnu form of the Lord, which is there in the heart. Kshirodakshaya Vishnu. Right? So they will also not be able to get complete Bhagavan realization. The other third kind of transcendentalist is Bhaktas. Right? So Bhakta is a devotee. Right? Only a person, even Krishna declared in Bhagavad Gita, Yogi Namavi Sarvesham Matkatenantaratmana Shraddhavan Bhajate Yomam Same Yuktatamo Mataha. Right? Yogi Namavi Sarvesham Madgatenantaratmaha. So the best kind of yogi is the one who offers devotional service. So Bhakti yogi is the best kind of yogi, not any other yogi, Ashtanga yogi or Jnana yogi or any, all are ruled out, right? And even in Brahma Samhita it is said, Pantastu koti shatavatsara sampragamyo vayurathapi Vayur means again pranayama process, right? Pantastu koti shatavatsara sampragamyo, shatavatsara, that is millions of years it will take, right? And vayurathapi Manaso Muni Pungavanam. Vayur means again pranayama process. Right? So, soapyasti yat prapadashimni avichintya tatve govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. So, what does it mean? Only by doing all these processes, no, that is the pranayama process, ashtanga yoga, mental speculation, all this by doing, which takes millions of years. Right? We all know in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna explains in 6th chapter how many years it will take to go to forest and do Ashtanga Yoga. And mental speculation, experimentation method, you need to try out every experiment in the world to get a conclusion of what is right. Right? All the wrong things you have to try out with your permutation, combination, speculation, etc., etc., and then arrive at the right one. That will also take millions and millions of years. Right? And by doing all this, They can approach only the, it is said, you can approach only the tip of the toe of Krishna. Can you imagine? Only the tip of the toe of Krishna. So apyasti yat prapada shimni avichintya tattve. Right? Not the Bhagavan or the real form of Krishna. They can only approach the tip of the toe of the Lord. Can you imagine? Right? But a devotee, Krishna reveals. Everything he reveals. No, Krishna reveals everything to a devotee. His form, his everything. The Nama, Rupa, Guna, Leela, everything is revealed to a devotee effortlessly. Right? What even a devotee has to do? Chant Hare Krishna, offer bhoga, have prasadam, archanam little bit, right? All the altar you have to just offer flowers, and that's it, nothing else, no. But just because a devotee establishes a relationship with the Lord, we are getting the utmost bonus, right? Utmost benefit. Nobody gets like this, right? Because we fall in love with the Lord. We think about the Lord every day. Madgatenantaratmana machchitta madgata prana bodhayanta parasparam katayantascha mam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha. Right? We think about the Lord, we talk about the Lord, we discuss only about the Lord when we join together, right? And we don't do anything other than Krishna. We don't even have a world outside Krishna. Right? So even if we buy new clothes for ourselves, we will be like, we are buying, what about the deities? Let's buy something for the deities also. Right? If those devotees who have Garnita at home, they will buy deities clothes also. If they don't have, they will sponsor for the temple. Right? We have Astra Seva in the temple. Right? So everything, whatever they do, they remember the Lord. They do not enjoy without Krishna. They enjoy, but they enjoy with Krishna. Right? So Krishna falls in love with the devotees equally and gives them revelations, right? All revelations will come. So I was talking about the yogis, no, the mystic yogis, and they have ashta siddhis and everything. Somewhere here Prabhupada says, okay, so actually Prabhupada once wanted to cross the river, okay, and he saw this was happening in America, okay, so he saw one person walking on water. Can you imagine? He had gotten some mystic power, and he was walking on water, right? So he had that ability to float. And so Prabhupada was seeing, and he was waiting for the boat actually. Boat was on the other side, and the boat was coming. He was waiting, and he saw this man walking on water. And then this man came and spoke to Prabhupada. So he was like, "Oh, you're waiting for boat? I don't need a boat. I can walk on water." Right? And then Prabhupada was like, "Oh, you can walk on water, very nice." And then but why should you walk on water? Then that man was like, "What? Why are you asking like this? I spent so many years, doing tapasya and everything, something to get this power. It didn't come to me easily. Right? You should appreciate it, you should like it, you should recognize it, etc., etc." So Prabhupada was like, the boatman had come, and Prabhupada was like, "I can pay the boat guy some 5 rupees, 10 rupees. I can, aram se cross the river. I don't have to do tapasya for walking on water." I mean, can you imagine what Prabhupada is saying? And now my question is, why did Prabhupada say that? We should appreciate, no? He should have, like, he got that siddhi after working so hard and everything. Why did Prabhupada say, why did you even do it?
He might have invested in bhakti. Instead of it, he was using it for some other arts, Mataji.
Haribol, very, very nice actually, right? Yeah, Murlidhar Prabhu, you want to add?
Actually, he could not achieve anything better by just crossing the river, because once we are in the pure devotional service, then the Lord will take us through the ocean of nescience only by the foot of the
Yeah.
such a small water containing in the feet of foot of the
Cow,
toe
yeah,
of the
calf's hoof print. Yeah, very
calf.
nice. Yeah, exactly. That's what Prabhupada said. Will you walk? You're walking on water. You got this siddhi. This is a very great achievement. Yes, but did it end all your problems? What are the 4 problems that we have? What are the problems do we even have in life? Anyone? What are the problems?
Birth,
Birth,
death,
death,
old
old
age,
age,
and
and
disease,
disease.
Death, old age,
Exactly. When
disease.
someone says, "I have problem," I have many problems, people will come and say, no, that is all wrong. We have only 4 problems. There's nothing else. Right? What is it? Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadi, Dukkha, Doshanu, Darshanam. That's it. And the person who sees Darshanam, Dukkha, Doshanu, Darshanam, the person who sees these four things as problems in the first place is taking the first step towards bhakti. Sometimes we don't even think these four things are problems. When a birth happens in a family, we start jumping, no? Oh, some baby has come, new baby has come, right? And when death happens, we start crying. Oh, someone died, right? And then when disease comes, we enthusiastically find out new remedies. Go for doctor, checkup. Every day we go to hospital. We don't understand this is meant to happen, right? Like how milk is white in color, sugar is sweet, right? The moment you get a human form of life, disease has to happen, otherwise something is wrong with you. Right? So these are the only four problems that we have: Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi. And Prabhupada is saying, did your Siddhi end these four problems? No, he will definitely get sick. He will also die one day, right? So he will also get old one day. Walking on water will not make him any different person, right? So this is the vision of a devotee, Shastra Chakshu. Very, very important. Right? And then a beautiful comparison is given, no? The Paramahamsas see through the Shastras. Right? And the swan and the lotus stem relationship. Let me share the screen. 1 second. There is a beautiful example given in first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam about the Paramahamsa, I mean about the swan and the lotus stems. Hmm. Hmm. So these are swans and there are lotus, lotus flowers, no, in a pond. So can anyone identify what is the comparison explained here between between the swans and the lotus?
Johannes Mataji.
Pianist, okay. How? Can you elaborate?
The swan can, separate milk from water,
Hmm.
and the lotus stem, even though it's growing from uh, in very dirty space, it
Hmm.
doesn't actually, get dirty.
Yeah. Yeah, so the comparison here is see, when Krishna blows the conch shell, no, the Krishna's lips are of red color, no, bimba fruit. It's like blood red. It's so bright red, and conch shell is white color. When he was blowing the conch shell, because of the lips of the Lord, the entire conch shell looked red in color. The lips of the Lord reddened the whole conch shell, right? That means what we understand here is anything touched by the Lord, or anything touched by the Lord means anything used in his service. It could be a mobile phone. If you are using it for Krishna service, if you are attending Mangalarati on your mobile phone, then it is used for Krishna service, no? Anything used for devotional service is spiritualized entirely. Entirely. The conch shell became red because of Krishna's lips. No, it was white in color, but it became completely reddened. No, same way, anything material in the outward vision, it could be material, but if you're using it for Krishna consciousness, it will become completely spiritual. Yeah, there's a shloka, no? Nirbandha Krishna Sambandhe Yukta Vairagya Muchyate. Right, so same way a Paramahamsa, right, like Prabhu was saying, he can separate milk and water. That means he can separate spiritual from material. He can be in material world, he can talk to materialistic people, but he knows very well in his mind what is spiritual, what is material. But if we act like that, we will get influenced by material people and we will give up our bhakti, right? That's why we have to restrict our association. But a Paramahamsa can do it, like Srila Prabhupada did. He went and stayed with the hippies and made them devotees. Right? So same thing is told over here. A Paramahamsa, because he is always touched by the Lord, he is completely spiritualized. Same way like the swans. Because they are in the water full of lotus. You can actually, the comparison here is the lotus flowers or the lotus stems are actually compared to the lotus feet of the Lord, and these swans are actually Paramahamsas or the devotees. And because devotees are always at the lotus feet of the Lord, or swans are playing at, with the lotus flowers, the swans are reddened, or the lotus flowers influence will always be, the color of the lotus flowers will always be on the swans. And Prabhupada also says in one of the lectures, from far off, if you see a pond filled with lotus flowers, and if swans are there, you cannot see the swans, it seems. The color of the lotus flowers dominate the color of the swans. That means the color of swans are influenced by the color of lotus flowers. They are again like the conch shell being reddened. Right? So devotees are always touched by the Lord. They are not ordinary people. They are devotees. They are spiritualized. That's why when devotees die, I'm not talking about devotees like you and me. We are nowhere. I'm talking about exalted personalities. When they leave the body, their body is not burnt. Their body is built into a samadhi. And that samadhi becomes a mandir. It becomes a temple. And people go and worship. Right? In the Radha Damodar temple, there is Rupa Goswami Samadhi. Right? We go and worship and ask them for mercy. Right? So that is the place devotees get. Right? So now the question is, what is the qualification to see God? Anyone?
Bhakti Mataji.
Surrender, Mataji.
Okay. But what is the starting point? Bhakti, surrender, it's all too big. How do you
Faith,
surrender?
Swaranam,
Mataji.
Faith,
hear about God.
Sorry?
faith, Mataji, faith.
Faith.
Trust, faith.
Have faith, you're near the answer.
Love Mataji.
Oh my God, Krishna Prema is the ultimate goal. That comes after surrender. But somewhere close to faith. Anyone? What does Kunti Maharani pray? Tata Paramahamsanam Yum Muninam Amalatmanam Bhakti Yoga Vidanartham Katam Pashimahe Striya. She says, how can...
Always be near the Lord.
Huh?
Always be near the Lord.
No, the
Lord's
sincerity
lotus
in
feet.
the
Not
heart.
to get more problems so that we don't forget you.
Sincerity is what is important. She says, Tata Paramahamsana Munina Mamalatmanam. Such great transcendentalists, they are so learned, everything, but Krishna comes there personally to teach them Bhakti Yoga Vidanartham. Right? To teach them Bhakti Yoga, he comes in the form of Bhagavad Gita and etc., Bhagavatam, etc., to teach them, even to Vyasadev. He is an incarnation, he's Krishna himself. But still, Krishna had to send Narada Muni to teach them him about Bhagavatam. Alright, so what can we do as women? Women those days were not sent to Gurukul. No, they didn't know Vedas. They didn't know independent life. Nothing. They were just confined to kitchen. Right? So that's why Kunti Maharani says, how can we know? How can we women know you? Right? But women are the first ones to get Krishna Bhakti compared to men. Right? Because of the sincerity of purpose. Right? The heart should be sincere. It should accept Krishna's supremacy. A lot of men don't, right? I'm not commenting. What Prabhupada is saying is women are soft, no? They are more soft in nature. So they just naturally accept the supremacy of someone, either of their husband or before marriage, they'll accept the supremacy of their father, and then they accept the supremacy of their brother, then of their husband. Then when they get old, they accept the supremacy of their son, right? So they are naturally programmed that way to accept supremacy of someone, right? Some man. And then when they read Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita, they will understand Krishna is the supreme of the supreme, right? And they will naturally accept Krishna's supremacy. So that is the sincerity of purpose in the heart, right? That's why the qualification to see the Lord is sincerity. So sincerity in sadhana. When you become more and more sincere in your sadhana, faith becomes stronger and stronger, and then you'll attain the stage of nishtha. Then comes ruchi, asakti, bhava, prema, right? But main thing is nishtha, the sincerity. It comes with faith, right? That is very, very important. And that's why Prabhupada writes so beautifully in the purport, where shopkeepers, there are 100 kinds of customers. Krishna is not a shopkeeper to please all the customers, all of us. Where is it? See, Krishna is not a shopkeeper trying to please all sorts of customers in the mental speculator exchange. Krishna demands complete surrender. And that surrender happens if you have sincerity of purpose, if you have faith in the Lord. No, where he said, he demands complete surrender. Hmm? Somewhere he says, no, he demands complete surrender. Not able to find here. See? He surrenders. He demands absolute surrender unto him only. Very, very important. Right? So we have to surrender. There's no other way. Okay, now next shloka. We'll cover the next two shlokas. I might extend the class by 5-10 minutes. Okay? Yeah. प्रचोदितायेन पुरा सरस्वती वितान्वदाजस्य सतीं स्मृतिं हृदि स्वलक्षणा प्रादुर्बहुत्किलाशयत् समेर ऋषीणां ऋषभ प्रसीदताम्. May the Lord, who is in the beginning of creation, amplified the potent knowledge of Brahma from within his heart and inspired him with full knowledge of creation and of his own self, and who appeared to be generated from the mouth of Brahma, be pleased with me. Yeah, Purport, who wants to read?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yeah, Hare Krishna.
Krishna. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. As we have already discussed herein before the Lord, as the super soul of all living beings, from Brahma to the insignificant ant, endows all with the required knowledge potent in every living being. A living being is sufficiently potent to possess knowledge from the Lord in the proportion of 50, 60, 50, 60 fourths or 70 to 80% of the full knowledge acquirable. Since the living being is constitutionally part and parcel of the Lord, he is unable to assimilate all the knowledge that the Lord possesses himself. In the conditioned state, the living being is so forgetting everything after a change of body known as death. This potent knowledge is again inspired by the Lord from within the heart of every living being, and it is known as the awakening of knowledge, for it is comparable to awakening from sleep or unconsciousness. This awakening of knowledge is under the full control of the Lord, and therefore we find in the practical world different grades of knowledge in different persons. This awakening of knowledge is neither an automatic nor a material interaction. The supply source is the Lord Himself. Diyam Patiha. For even Brahma is also subject to this regulation of the Supreme Creator. In the beginning of the creation, Brahma is born first without any father and mother, because before Brahma there were no other living beings. Brahma is born from the lotus, which grows from the abdomen of the Garbhodakshai Vishnu, and therefore he is known as Aja. This Brahma or Aja is also a living being, part and parcel of the Lord. But being the most pious devotee of the Lord, Brahma is inspired by the Lord to create, subsequent to the main creation by the Lord, through the agency of material nature. Therefore, neither the material nature nor Brahma is independent of the Lord. The material scientist can merely observe the reactions of the material nature without understanding the direction behind such activities, as a child can see the action of electricity without any knowledge of the powerhouse engineer. This imperfect knowledge of the material scientist is due to a poor fund of knowledge. The Vedic knowledge was therefore first impregnated within Brahma and it appears that Brahma distributed the Vedic knowledge. Brahma is undoubtedly the speaker of the Vedic knowledge, but actually he was inspired by the Lord to receive such transcendental knowledge as it directly transcends from the Lord. The Vedas are therefore called aparushreya, or not imparted by any created being. Before the creation, the Lord was there, Narayanaha paro vyaktat, and therefore the words spoken by the Lord are vibrations of transcendental sound. There is a gulf of difference between the two qualities of sound, namely prakrita and aprakrita. The physicist can deal only with the prakrita sound, or sound vibrated in the material sky, and therefore we must know that the Vedic sounds recorded in symbolic expressions cannot be understood by anyone within the universe unless and until one is inspired by the vibration of supernatural or aprakrita sound, which descends in the chain of disciplic succession from the Lord to Brahma, from Brahma to Narada, from Narada to Vyasa, and so on. No mundane scholar can translate or reveal the true import of the Vedic mantras or hymns. They cannot be understood unless one is inspired or irritated by the authorized spiritual master, or initiated by the authorized spiritual master. The original spiritual master is the Lord Himself, and the succession comes down through the sources of parampara, as clearly stated in the 4th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. So, unless one receives the transcendental knowledge from the authorized parampara, one should be considered useless. Nispala mataha. Even though one may be greatly qualified in the mundane advancements of arts or science. Shukadeva Goswami is praying to the Lord by dint of being inspired from within the Lord so that he could rightly explain the facts and figures of creation as inquired by Maharaja Parikshit. A spiritual master is not a theoretical speculator like the mundane scholar, but is Shrotyam Brahma Nishtam. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, thank you. Next shloka, last shloka will cover. Bhutair mahadbhiryamiharuppuro vibhur nirmaya shete yad amushu purusha bhungte gunan shodasha shodashatmaka so alankritishtishtha bhagavan vachamshi me. May the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who enlivens the materially created bodies of the elements by laying down within the universe, and who is in his Purusha incarnation causes the living being to be subjected to the 16 divisions of material modes which are his generator, be pleased to decorate my statements. Yeah, puppet? Anyone?
Hare Krishna Mataji,
Hare
pranams.
Yeah.
As a fully dependent devotee, Sukadeva Goswami, unlike a mundane man who is proud of his own capability, invokes the pleasure of personality of Godhead so that his statements may be successful and be appreciated by the hearers. The devotee always thinks of himself as instrumental for anything successfully carried out, and he declines to take credit for anything done by himself. The godless atheist wants to take all credit for activities, not knowing that even a blade of grass cannot move without the sanction of the Supreme Spirit, the personality of Godhead. Shukdev Goswami therefore wants to move by the direction of the Supreme Lord, who inspired Brahma to speak the Vedic wisdom. The truths described in the Vedic literatures are not theories of mundane imaginations, nor are they fictitious, as the less intelligent class of men sometimes think. The Vedic truths are all perfect descriptions of the factual truth without any mistake or illusion. And Shukdev Goswami wants to present the truths of creation not as a metaphysical theory or philosophical speculation, but as the actual facts and figures of the subject, since he would be dictated to by the Lord exactly in the same manner as Brahmaji was inspired. As stated in Bhagavad Gita 15.15, the Lord is himself the father of the Vedanta knowledge, and it is he only who knows the factual purport of the Vedanta philosophy. So there is no greater truth than the principles of religion mentioned in the Vedas. Such Vedic knowledge or religion is disseminated by authorities like Sukadeva Goswami because he is a humble devotional servitor of the Lord who has no desire to become a self appointed interpreter without authority. That is the way of explaining the Vedic knowledge, technically known as the Parampara system or the descending process. The intelligent man can see without mistake that any material creation, whether one's own body or a fruit or a flower, cannot be beautifully grown up without the spiritual touch. The greatest intelligent man of the world or the greatest man of science can present everything very beautifully only insofar as the spirit life is there, or in so much as the spirit touch is there. Therefore, the source of all the truth is the supreme spirit and not gross matter, as wrongly conceived by the gross materialist. We get information from the Vedic literature that the Lord Himself first entered the vacuum of the material universe, and thus all things gradually developed one after another. Similarly, the Lord is situated as localized Paramatma in every individual being, hence, everything is done by Him very beautifully. The 16 principal creative elements, namely earth, water, fire, air, sky, and the 11 sense organs, the first developed from the Lord Himself and were thereby shared by the living entities. Thus, the material elements were created for the enjoyment of the living entities. The beautiful arrangement behind all material manifestation was therefore made possible by the energy of the Lord, and the individual living entity can only pray to the Lord to understand it properly. Since the Lord is a supreme entity different from Shukdev Goswami, the prayer can be offered to him. The Lord helps the living entity to enjoy material creation, but he is aloof from such false enjoyment. Shukdev prays for the mercy of the Lord, not only for being helped personally in the presenting the truth, but also for helping others to whom he would like to speak. Hare Krishna Machi Pranams. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, thank you, Mataji. So very beautifully explained. So these two verses talk about the creation and more of how Krishna is the empowering energy over here, right? So here there's a very interesting statement. It is said Brahma is Aja. Aja is someone who has no birth, right? Like Krishna. Krishna has no birth, so who has no death. But Brahma dies, no? After 100 years of life. Then how can he be called Aja? Anyone? Yeah? Anyone?
Mataji, birth is not there because he has come of the stem of the lotus feet of Lord. But then once in the material world, he has to follow the material cycle of death.
Okay, but Brahma's body is material, no? The body
Yes.
that he has, that is made of material elements, Pancha Mahabhutas. So it is birth only. Birth means accepting a material body is called birth. Then how do we say he is Aja? Then otherwise he should not die also. Someone can die only if they are born, no? Why is he called Aja? Anyone? Think. Brainstorm.
Mataji, is his soul like getting transferred to other body after the universe recreate? That the way they tell Aja.
I didn't understand.
No, like I mean, when the after 100 years, right?
Hmm.
Um, his soul gets into Krishna actually,
There's
and
no
then
guarantee. No, there's no guarantee after he leaves the body, he will go back to Vaikunta. There is no guarantee like that. He might take birth again on Earth or in some other planets, higher planets, lower planets. So yeah, actually Muralidhar Prabhu was quite near to the answer. He's called, he's called Aja. He's called Swayambhu. Swayambhu Narada Shambhu Kumara Kapilo Manu, right? Swayambhu or, he takes birth but does not have parents, right? He doesn't have mother and father giving birth to him like all of us, right? So the answer is here, no? He takes birth from the Purusha, that is Garbhadakshaya Vishnu, and through the lotus. He doesn't have a mother or a typical mother and father is not there. No, that's why he is called Aja or Swayambhu, because he appears directly from the lotus, as Prabhu was saying. Right? I was trying to confuse. So what we need to understand is that's why he's called Swayambhu or Aja. Right? He doesn't take birth like normal living entities. He accepts a material body, but he does not have literal parents. right? He takes birth from lotus and Purusha, that is Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. And also here it is said, no, Vedas are called Apaurusheya. And how is, so after Brahma was born, what did he do? What happened? Anyone can brief out? In short, what happened?
He,
After
he,
yeah,
he meditated for 1,000 years because he was not able to understand why he has come here. It was totally darkness. And
yeah.
then when when he heard the word tapa, then only he could understand that he has to do tapasya for 1,000 years.
So actually, the lotus flower was his planet, right? On top of the lotus flower, there was nothing, as Prabhu said, darkness. And then he went down through the stem to trace back his way from where he came, the origin. When he went back through the lotus stem, he should ideally see Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, the Vaikunta, right? But he did not see. It was just blank space, darkness, right? And he again went back through the stem to his house, that is the lotus flower. There he heard the tapa, right? Tapa. Then he sat and did tapasya. And then only for 100 years he did tapasya. I mean 100 earthly years. And there it could be some 1 year or something. And then he could see the Lord, right? And the Lord was pleased with him. And then the Lord revealed himself. Lord came in front of him. And the entire Vaikunta was revealed to him. When he, out of his own effort, when he went to the origin, to the place of origin through the stem, took the stairs and came, he couldn't see the Vaikunta. It was all there, right there, but he couldn't see it, right? But after tapasya, he could see the Vaikunta. Can you imagine? And he could see the Lord. He could see thousands of Lakshmis serving the Lord. He could see Narada, Shiva, all the demigods present, right? He could see Anantashesh, on which the Lord was sleeping, right? And the jewelry, the beauty of the Lord, the Lakshmi sitting and doing sevana, pada sevanam, everything got revealed to him. Can you imagine? So this is what we need to understand. We are all kripa siddhas. We are not sadhana siddhas. By our own effort, nothing will work, right? Even if we are doing 100% strong sadhana, perfect sadhana, unless Krishna is pleased, we will not get anything. Right? That's very important. And it's also told beautifully over here, no? The secondary creator, right? Brahma is a creator, yes, but he is only secondary creator. And also, yeah, after Krishna, I mean, gave him darshan, after Brahma saw, from the heart of Krishna, the knowledge of the Vedas or how to create and everything got transferred to the heart of Brahma. Tene Brahma Hridaya Adikavaye, right? It was not spoken. That's why the Vedas are called Apaurusheya, right? Somewhere he says, Prabhupada writes, that's why the Vedas are called Apaurusheya, because they were transferred directly from the heart of Krishna to the heart of Brahma. They were not spoken, right? So they were not imparted by any created being. Can you imagine? It was directly from the Lord, and Brahma is the first receiver. Then, after he understood the Vedic knowledge and he understood the process of creation, he starts to do his job, that is creation. But that is not primary creation. We already know Karanadaksha is the Sai Vishnu is the one who creates the universes. I mean, the material universe, no? And then Garbhodakshaya Vishnu enters into each of those universes and creates the planets. On the stem of the lotus are the 14 planetary systems, right? Including Brahma's Loka. And then Kshirodakshaya Vishnu enters each of those planetary systems in the every atom of the planetary system and the heart of all the living entities. So what is Brahma doing? Brahma is doing the secondary creation. Two types of creation, Sarga, Visarga, right? Like you say you have clay and you give it to a child, then the child uses the clay to do something, right? Some art and craft. So can you call the child to be the creator? No. Right? So the clay was already given to the child. So the clay is the actual, I mean, the person who made the clay is the actual creator, not the child. Right? So this is what we learn from the potter's wheel example also, right? The wheel, the potter's wheel might look like creating all the pots, but it is not the wheel, it's actually the potter creating. Same here. When you write, it may seem that the pen is writing. When you see someone's writing, you will think the pen is writing. No, pen is not writing. The person holding the pen and moving the pen is actually writing. No, so Krishna is the real creator or the Sarga. And the immediate cause, what we see is Brahma. He is the secondary creator. Right? Everything is done and given to him. All the ingredients are there. Everything is there. Like fast food, no? The bread is there, cheese is there, and all everything is there. So the say sauce is there, everything is there. What you are doing? You're taking bread, you're keeping cheese on it, you're putting some sauce, and then you are closing the bread and you're doing some toast and you're eating it. That's it. So you are not the
Mataji,
right?
Mataji, what I understand, is it correct that Brahma is a material creation,
Ah,
whereas the consciousness comes from the uh,
yeah, comes from
spiritual
the
consciousness come from the Lord as per the karmas which we are
yes.
which we have done.
Yes, yes. So he dictates our fate. Okay, Brahma writes our fate and directs our life. This person should take birth here and this form, he gives the form, right? He makes the form and everything. That's the way he creates. But the actual creation happens by the Lord. The Purushas, the three Purushavataras exist only because of that. Right? So that is very, very important. And also in the purport, it is said in the next shloka, Shukadeva Goswami, I think, yeah, here, no? So beautifully, he says that he could rightly explain the facts and figures of creation as inquired by Parikshit Maharaj. But Shukadeva Goswami is such a great devotee, he's parrot of Radharani. Who else will know about Krishna better than Shukadeva Goswami? But he is praying to the Lord and asking him for mercy so that he can rightly talk about Krishna. What does this mean? What does this show? What does this indicate? Anyone? What does this indicate?
That without Krishna's mercy or you cannot
Okay, but Krishna
explain
is in the
creation.
pocket of Shukadeva Goswami. Krishna will do whatever Shukadeva Goswami says. Because Shukadeva Goswami is Radharani's parrot. Whatever is dear to Radharani is very, very dear to Krishna also, no? Then why is he praying? What does this show?
Humility.
Haribol, exactly. Practiced humility or realized humility. Right? He's come as an acharya to teach us. Right? That's why here Shukadeva Goswami says, something he says, dictates. Krishna dictates. Whatever Krishna dictates, I'm going to speak in the same way as Brahmaji was inspired. Brahma was the most pious devotee of the Lord. The most pious devotee of the Lord will be given the position of Brahma, the creator. He is more like a personal secretary of Krishna, right? Creating, creating, creating. So he's following the footsteps of Brahma and saying, whatever Krishna dictates, I will only talk exactly that in the same manner. No changing, nothing. Who else did this? Someone else also did exactly the same thing as dictated by the Lord.
Mataji, Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada also says that it
Yeah.
has whatever he has written is dictated by the Lord.
Haribol, very nice. And not only that, in his Jaladutta prayers, he says, Kikori bujabo kata boro sei chahi kshudra ami dina hina kono shakti nahi. Right? What does this mean? He says, how will I make them understand this message? He's just landed in America and he's like, how will I make these Western people understand the message of Krishna consciousness? I'm very unfortunate, unqualified, dina hina kono shakti nahi. And I'm powerless. Right? I'm seeking your benediction so that I can convince them. So for I'm powerless to do so on my own. He says, I'm powerless to do so on my own. Again, Prabhupada is not an ordinary person. He is from Goloka, Radharani Sakhi. Right? Radha Priya Sakhi he is. And he's still praying like that, saying, I'm powerless. I cannot do anything on my own. Again, to teach us what we can do. If such great personalities can't do, what we can do? We are simply just proud of something which we are not. Blindly we are proud. Right? Also in one more, here he says, Ki bhave bujale tara bhuji se rasa, eta kripa karo prabhu kori nija basha. Right? He says, how will they understand the mellows of devotion service, O Lord? I'm simply praying for your mercy so that I'll be able to convince them your message. Nama si Kaliyugera Dharma Krishna Nama Sankirtana, Krishna Shakti Vina Nahi Tara Pravartana. Right? Means Krishna Shakti Vina, none of the preaching activities will be successful if there is no Krishna's empowerment, Krishna's mercy, Krishna's touch. We discussed the example of conch shell and the lotus flower and the hamsas, the swans and everything. No, without Krishna's touch or Krishna's empowerment, power, nothing will happen. Right? We can never say it's because of me. It's because of me. Right? Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami beautifully explains every chapter. No, at the end of every chapter in Chaitanya Charitamrita, anyone knows there is one verse Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami writes. Anyone knows what is that verse? At the end of every chapter he writes. Anyone's read? No, he writes Rupa Raghunatha Padayara Asha Chaitanya Charitamrita Kahe Krishnadasa. Shri Rupa Raghunatha Padayara Asha Chaitanya Charitamrita Kahe Krishnadasa. At the end of every chapter he writes this one verse. And what does this mean? Only by the mercy of Rupa and Raghunatha Goswami I am narrating this Chaitanya Charitamrita Kahe Krishnadasa. Right? That's what he's saying. Just by the mercy of the Goswamis. Right, his spiritual master. Not only that, Prabhupada, before writing Nectar of Devotion, he was like, how am I supposed to write? I'm not an exalted devotee. I don't know anything about bhakti. He says even in Jaladata Press, bhakti nahi veda nahi. Right? Bhakti nahi. I don't have bhakti also. I don't have knowledge. Veda nahi. Kub name kub daro. I only have faith in the holy name. Then he says, Bhakti Vedanta Name Ebe Sarthak Karo. If you have given me the name Bhakti Vedanta, you make sure I deserve it. You make sure I do justice to it. He's telling all this to Krishna. Right? He's saying Bhakti Nahi Veda Nahi. He doesn't have Bhakti. We all know he has Bhakti. But that is what they are teaching us. Right? He used to go to Rupa Goswami's Samadhi when he was staying in Radha Damodar temple and pray, cry, sweep the Samadhi Mandir and cry and say, I need to write your Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu in English to Bhakti Nectar of Devotion. I don't know anything. Please guide, please help. He cried and cried and cried, and then he says, Rupa Goswami was the one who sat next to me and wrote Nectar of Devotion. I did not write. Right? So, and all the books he used to read, and all his books. Once a devotee came and asked, why Prabhupada, you only wrote your books and you are reading your own books. Why are you doing that? Then Prabhupada says, no, I didn't write. That's why I'm reading. I want to see what is there in the book, what I have written. Because Krishna dictated. Krishna used to come and dictate, and whatever he dictates, I just wrote in the puppets. That's why I'm now curious what I wrote in the puppet. Can you imagine? And there is proof also. Devotees used to go to the room after Prabhupada left, after Prabhupada left the room to clean the room and all, they used to go and they used to smell celestial flowers. Those flowers were not available on earth. Can you imagine? And then they used to see garland, right, next to Prabhupada and everything. Then they would, they would understand, okay, Prabhupada is not lying. Why will he lie? He is an Acharya of the golden age, right? And, it's actually Krishna coming and sitting next to him and dictating, right? So this is humility, and only by humility, we learned this from Damodar Lila also. We are not doing anything. I will close with a small story, okay? So this happened in Jagannath Puri. This is a life story, I mean real story. There were two partners, okay, and business partners, and they used to run. Those days there were no restaurants or anything. This is like long time ago, right? So rather than restaurants, what they used to call was some I forgot the term. There was a term, okay. All travelers used to they used to walk and travel, okay. Those days no vehicles, so they used to either pack lunch food from house, or if it was a long travel, then they would stop in places and just eat whatever there was available, like some fruits or something. So that there what happened, this two partners, they were in Puri, and they had started a prasadam mandir sort of a thing, right, for all travelers. There were many such prasadam alayas, actually prasad alayas they say, but they also started one, okay. And these two partners always used to fight. There was no proper coordination in business and things like that. Always used to fight. They both were devotees, but they just couldn't accept each other's ideas. They always used to fight, and they say oh, your business, no, you run however you want, why are you asking me? And the other partner would say, no, it's your business, no, you run however you want, I will not interfere, I'm not going to cook, I'm not going to serve, I'm not going to invest, etc., etc. They used to always fight. Okay, both of them were such great devotees. They used to wake up in the morning, they used to serve Jagannath, and when they come for business, they used to start fighting. So then what Jagannath did, Jagannath does not like his devotees fighting, or Jagannath doesn't like his devotees unhappy, right? So what Jagannath did, Jagannath said Baladev. Baladev came in the form of an acharya and instructed the devotees that why are you fighting every day? Jagannath will not be happy if you fight like this. And he said, then he heard that one devotee saying, this is her business. Let her do whatever she wants. I will walk away." Right? And in front of him only, right? In front of the acharya, they again started to fight. Then Baladev was like, okay, there was an altar in the prasadalai, and he showed the altar, pointed out towards the altar and said, who is there in the altar? Then they were worshipping Jagannath, Baladev and Subhadra. Then they said Jagannath. Then Jagannath means what, he asked. Jagannath means he's the Nath, he's the proprietor of the entire Jaga, right? The world, right? Then he asked, then who does this business belong to? Then they were like shocked. They were like, every day we read Bhagavatam at home. Every day we preach to others that everything in the world belongs to the Lord, right? But when we come to this business, it never struck, it never came to our mind that this business belongs to Jagannath. We are fighting, this is your business, my business every day, right? So then Baladev was like, yeah, see, when you are sincere at heart, Krishna will send you someone, a spiritual master, to reveal the truth. Right? So then they were shocked. They were like, yeah, this business belongs to Jagannath, not yours, not mine. Ishavasyam idam sarvam jagat. What is that? Ishavasyam idam sarvam. I forgot the shloka. Anyone knows?
Yatkincham jagatyam jagatena
Yatkincham
tyaktena
jagatya
bhunjita
Magida
Kashasvana.
Right? Ishavasyam idam sarvam. Entire world, belongs to Krishna, and he gives us quota, and we shouldn't cross it. Whatever belongs to us, only we have to take it. Right? And what is their quota? What is those two business partners' quota? They are workers in Jagannath's business. They don't own it. They are workers in Jagannath's business. Maybe on paper in the material world, it looks like it's their business. No? Then Jagannath, once they got this revelation and they started to follow this, right? No sale would happen because they used to fight, no, every day. No customers would come. They just used to go off, right? They used to go to other prasadalayas. Then when they got that revelation and they started to follow, working for Jagannath's business, and calling themselves workers of Jagannath, Jagannath came in the form of a small boy, stood at the entrance of the puri, and used to direct all the customers to this particular prasadalaya. Can you imagine? Only to this particular prasadalaya. And all the customers would just go to only their shop. Everybody, all the other prasadalayas were like, what should we do? All customers are going there only. Right? Jagannath came personally to develop his business. Can you imagine? Once you understand everything is belonging to Krishna and he will do the mission, then Krishna's mercy will start flowing, right? It could be anything. It could be writing some scripture, right, like Prabhupada and Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. It could be preaching, like Guru Maharaj, right? Whatever it is, anything, right? Once you understand and act as if it is Krishna's work, he will take care. Why should I worry? That feeling should come in the heart. Whatever he says, I will do. I'm a worker, I'm not the owner. That should come in the mind, right? And then Krishna will Krishna like if his own mission fails? No, right? So he will empower the workers, and that is us, and make us succeed in it. Like same thing Arjuna also did. No, in the before Bhagavad Gita, he was like, my war, I should fight, I'm not going to fight, right? And then when Krishna says it is Krishna's plan and Krishna wants, in the Vishwarupa he showed all the people going into the mouth of the Lord, no? When then Arjuna understood, okay, it is Krishna's plan, Krishna's wish, Krishna's desire. What am I? I'm just an instrument, right? Then Arjuna was like, you want me to fight, so I'm fighting. I'm your worker, I'm not the owner, right? And then he won, no? Krishna made Arjuna win the war, right? Krishna is the one who does everything, but credit Krishna gives to his devotees, right? So this is very, very, very important, right? So the revelation is, this comes through Shastra Chakshus, right? So every day we might also read, no, same thing those two partners thought. They were like, every day we read everything belongs to Jagannath, but why didn't this just hit our mind that this business belongs to Jagannath? You know, they were just spellbound. It happens in our life also, no? Every day we also read everything belongs to Krishna, everything belongs to Krishna. But when the situation comes, we start to take the ownership and we start crying and acting and dictating and dominating and everything, right? So this is something we have to see through the Shastras. A very small example. I will end with this slide, okay? So when Narasimha Dev came, there were two viewers, no? Prahlad and Hiranyakashipu. How did each of them see Narasimha? How did each of them see Narasimha Dev? With what perception? Prahlad was happy, no? Prahlad was happy to welcome the Lord. He saw Narasimha Dev as Lord. But Hiranyakashipu saw Narasimha Dev as a unicorn, as a different animal which he never saw any time before. And he never knew he was God. And he started to get afraid looking at the ferocious form of the Lord. Right? So same Lord, two perceptions. And here also, this is the Lord and this is Pandava and this is Shakuni and Duryodhan, Kauravas. How did both of them see the Lord? Sleeping? Everybody?
Pandavas as a friend, Mataji.
Hmm.
And, Shakuni and Duryodhan as, you know, an enemy.
Yeah.
Like someone who was very intelligent or more intelligent than them.
Yeah. So they were seeing Krishna as a magician, some Mayavi performing some tricks and winning the war. But Pandavas, especially Arjunas, understood what is Krishna, who is Krishna, right? And saw through Chakshu, Shastra Chakshu. How did he see? I mean, even here, Vishwarupa, Arjuna couldn't see with his own eyes. No, Krishna had to give him divine eyes or spiritual eyes. Only then he could see. Why? Because, and then understood the Lord as he is. So, as devotees, we have to see through the acharyas. It's called Shastra Chakshu. Receiving Shastras can only happen by following the disciplic succession. When you see through the acharyas, you will see what they are seeing. Jnaninas Tattva Darshinaha. They have seen the truth and they are imparting the truth to you. You will also be able to see. But you have to only see through them. Right? That's why you have to see through the years. Then we will succeed. This is what we learn from Shukadeva Goswami's last verse, right? Last prayer verse where he says, you dictate, I'm not fit enough to convince anybody or talk about you to Parikshit Maharaj. As you dictate, I will just follow blindly. And he's seeking mercy, right? And we shouldn't think that we are greater than them, right? Such great personalities are begging for mercy from the Lord, and we forget the Lord and we think everything is mine. I will lead, I will program. Whatever I say, my logic will work. Your logic, my logic, nothing works. Krishna is beyond logic, his adokshaja, right? Only begging for his mercy and crying every day works, nothing else. Chanting and crying, nothing else. Okay, Hare Krishna. I'll end on this note. Any questions? Sorry, I had to extend because I wanted to finish it today. Any questions or any comments or anything to add? Anyone? Okay, nothing?
Thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Mataji, just
Mataji,
one
you have
question.
explained very well, so you don't find any questions.
It seems that we get doubts only. I mean, we don't get doubts when we've not understood anything or we've understood full Bhagavatam, everything. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, Ramya Mataji, you had a question?
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Mataji, you were asking that question, no? Like, Brahma also has a death, right?
Hmm.
So I didn't understand that point. So Brahma has death, then why is he called Aja?
Because he does not have parents like us. He got birth from the navel of the Lord, no? From the navel
Yeah.
came the lotus flower, and from lotus flower he got the birth. That means he did not have a living entity giving birth to him. The lotus flower gave birth to him. Right?
Okay.
From Purusha
Huh.
he got birth. That's why he does not have like proper parents, and he did not take birth like us. That's why he's called Aja.
Okay, Mataji. But he has a death, right? After
Yes,
those so many years.
yeah.
Huh.
After 100 years of his lifespan, he will also leave the body.
Okay, Mataji. Thank you,
Okay.
Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you all. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः अनंतकोटि वैष्णववृंद की जय श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय हरे कृष्णा थैंक यू ऑल
Hare Krishna
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna
Thank you
Mataji,
so much.
thank you, धन्यवाद.
Thank you, Mataji. Dandavat pranams.
Thank you, Mataji.